Hello, my loves. It's Liz Ann here from High Vibes Life, and today I want to share with you 8 different things that you can implement in order to attract a good man. A lot of my clients that I work with have been in abusive relationships or tend to attract abusive relationships and ask me often, how do I get out of this cycle? It seems like I'm getting afraid to even get into any kind of relationship because I'm afraid it's just going to turn back into something very negative again. And so that's why I decided to create this video, to give you some things that you can implement into your life and start practicing in order to make yourself an energetic match to a good man rather than an energetic match to another codependent abusive relationship. So stay tuned. So some of the things that are going to be listed here are going to be very simple and could really go either way as far as attracting a man. But I'm going to get into it a little bit deeper to kind of show you how you can go deeper so that you attract a good man, so that you are creating an energy about you, a vibration about you that attracts good men. Now, we understand that we live in a universe that is attraction-based. Like attracts like. We can really leverage it to create the kind of life and the kind of life situations that we want, rather than just living our lives by default and feeling like life is happening to us. We can start seeing all the ways and witnessing all the ways that life is actually happening for us. Here are 8 things that you can implement to start attracting good men. And the first one is the simplest one, and that is smile. So I've heard men many times throughout my life say that they love a good smile. They are attracted to women who have a beautiful smile, who smile often, who seem like they're happy. And I want to take this a little deeper in saying that it's not just about practicing how to smile, although that can be a part of it. Maybe we're not in the habit of smiling. But what it really is getting to that place where you're genuinely happy. So if you're not very happy, it's going to be hard to smile. And even when you do smile, it's not always going to look authentic on you or real. And so we want to cultivate that inner joy and that inner happiness by beginning to learn what makes us happy, seeking out the things that make us happy, that make us laugh, that make us smile in life, so that we can feel happier, we can be happier, we can smile more and make ourselves a lot more attractive. It has been said that smiles are the best makeup. Number 2 is don't be frumpy, grumpy, or dumpy. So what do I mean by that? Well, frumpy, don't look messy. Clean yourself up, look nice, be attractive. I've heard that men can be very visual, and so it stands to reason that we would want to fix ourselves up somewhat. Now, I'm not saying that you have to be all done up, because a lot of men aren't even attracted to that. But at least be clean, have a decent outfit on, look like you take care of yourself. And how do we take this deeper so that we're attracting men and not just shallow, oh, you look good, babe, so I want to get out with you, go out with you. And that is that we care about ourselves. We care about ourselves enough that we want to feel good and we want to look our best. So that's where you got to start. That's where the true energy of not being frumpy comes from. Because there's a lot of women that might get all done up and dressed up when they're out on a date, but the rest of their lives, they don't care what they look like. They don't care what their house looks like. They're very frumpy. And so they're just putting on this thing to attract a man just for their looks. And again, it's not a genuine, something coming from a genuine place. So don't be frumpy, don't be grumpy, somebody that complains all the time, somebody that's always bitching about life and about their miseries and about how their life is so miserable and how they're picked on and blaming everybody for everything that's happening. Nobody, men or otherwise, want to be around and hang around somebody that's grumpy all the time. So practice finding things to be grateful about. So practice starting seeing that glass half full rather than the glass half empty. Practice filling your cup up, learning how to fill your cup up so you don't feel grumpy. Some people are just legitimately grumpy because their lives are difficult and hard, and that's understandable, but we can get help. We can find ways to make our lives not so difficult, to make our lives not so hard, or to get relief, or to find things to be happy about and to implement them into our lives. So there's many, many things that you can do so that you're not constantly grumpy. We all are grumpy sometimes. That's just human. So I'm not saying you have to be a Pollyanna, a smiling Pollyanna, I forget what they call it, pleasant Pollyanna or something like that all the time, right? But you want to not be either somebody that's just grumpy and complaining all the time, because that does repel men. So we did frumpy, we did grumpy. So what is dumpy? You would think that was kind of like frumpy, but when I say dumpy, I'm talking about somebody that dumps on people. Somebody that when they go out with them, that they just start dumping all their problems that they've had in life on them. Don't be a dumpy person, especially when you go out with a man and on a date. Don't let that whole time be caught up in all the hardships that you've ever experienced in life and why your life has been so hard. And don't dump on people. Get to know people first. Those kind of things will come out little by little, and we want to be able to be open and be vulnerable, but don't just be a dumpy person that just wants to dump out all their problems on people. Number 3, have interests that you are passionate about. And if you currently don't have anything that you feel passionate about, start looking for things, start trying new things to find something that you can find an interest in. It could be a hobby, it could be a cause, it could be a business pursuit. It doesn't matter, but find something that you're truly interested and passionate about. What you are interested in makes you interesting. Then once you have something that you truly love to do, you can actually start going places and being around people that truly love the same thing you do or the same things you do, and potentially meet a partner or meet people to date that have common interests. And when you have common interests with a partner, you always have something that you can do together and that you are kind of on board about together. And you might have a lot of other things that you differ in, but when you have that one common ground, that can make all the difference in the world to a happy relationship. So be interested in things, and especially find things that you are passionate about. Number 4 is take care of your issues before you start dating. This is one of the big reasons why so many of us end up in relationships that we are miserable in. And that is because we don't think about any of these things. We're not taught to. Luckily, we're in a different day, and hopefully more and more as we progress into the future, people will be more intelligent about who they date and why. But take care of your issues. Seek out therapy if you need it. Learn proper boundaries. Take a psychology class. Learn emotional intelligence. And don't date men, or if you go out on a date with somebody that you see right away doesn't have any emotional intelligence, and you can tell that right away is they lack empathy, because emotional intelligence takes a level of empathy. So if they lack empathy, you want to say, that person is not for me. I enjoyed the date, but we're not a good match. So again, take care of your issues so that you don't have all this baggage and that you're just like this open sore that's vulnerable to be triggered and to trigger arguments and fights. That's when you just get these codependent relationships where you're trying to get each other's needs met through each other, and you're just triggering each other down the line and fighting all the time. So take care of your issues ahead of time. Seek out therapy, take a psychology class, learn emotional intelligence, and just really heal up your life as much as possible. Number 5, know, honor, respect, accept, love who you are. Practice, learn to love yourself supremely, to honor yourself, to respect yourself, to be your best friend, your own best friend. Because when you do this for yourself, then you will naturally know when somebody else isn't doing that for you. And you will begin to naturally weed out people that are going to be toxic and not love, accept, and respect you. So know yourself, love yourself, respect yourself, honor yourself. And if you haven't done that and don't know how to do that, then learn before you start dating and getting into relationships. Number 6 is, after you know yourself, know what you're looking for in a relationship, in a man. Write it down. Imagine it. Think about what it's going to feel like, what it's going to look like, what things you're going to have in common, what values you're both going to hold together. What type of relationship do you want? Do you want to be held a lot? Do you want romance, or do you want adventure? Think about the type of person. Do you want to stay fit together, or whatever it is? There's so many different things that could play into your idea of what an ideal relationship is. Write it down and review it every day when you're in the process of dating and actually looking for a partner. Know exactly what you're looking for, and then begin to weed out what doesn't fit. Don't waste your time when you go out with somebody and you realize they don't hold the values that you want your long-term relationship to hold. Then know that you're not going to continue to date that person. Well, but they have so many other things I really like. Know exactly what deal breakers are, what these things that have to be in place here. Know what those are for you. I know that I want a man that's going to always respect me. I don't want somebody that drinks alcohol or can't hold their alcohol, or I don't want somebody that has a lot of baggage, or I don't want somebody that hasn't held down a job for a couple years and doesn't show responsibility. Just know what your deal breakers are. And then when you go out on a date, then you will know, I don't want somebody that doesn't show empathy. I don't want somebody that's rude to people, because that could come out of me later. Know what they are. And then that way you can automatically know when you date somebody, you can see what they are, those markers, and you can say, I can't waste my time on this, because I don't want to go through the next 5-10 years of my life trying to make something work and then wishing I had just not even been involved with this person to begin with. So know what you want before you start dating, what you're looking for in a relationship. And then number 7, once you understand and know who you are and what you want out of a relationship, start hanging out at places where you'll meet these type of men. So you've got your avatar, the person that you want to meet, the ideal person. You figured that out. Now it's time to figure out, where do they hang out? Where can you meet these type of men? And I'm going to tell you, if you want to meet a good man, hanging out at a bar is not where you're going to meet them. Now, I'm not saying you can never go to a bar, but don't go to the bar for the purpose of meeting men if you don't want an alcoholic for a partner. Just be careful and be wise about, where would this type of man hang out? Would this type of man be at the gym? Would he be at the golf course? Would this type of man go to, high-end parties? Or would this type of man be hunting? Just that kind of thing. You go to shooting ranges, or you could join a hunting club, or whatever it is that the type of man that you want to be involved would potentially be hanging out. And then number 8, have integrity. Integrity in yourself is going to be vital to find a good man that has integrity. If you want your man to have integrity, you need to have integrity. And what is integrity? That is, what your values are. What you genuinely deep down inside hold as, that's not right to me, and that's wrong. I wouldn't do that. And you're not going to do that behind closed doors. When nobody's around, do you hold the same ideals that really you stand for and say you stand for when people are around. Have integrity. Know what your values are. Know what you believe to be right and wrong, and walk the right way in your mind, because that gives you confidence and that helps you to attract other people that do the same. They're not going to cheat on you and go behind your back and do things because they have integrity. So number 8 is for you to have integrity. So real quickly, I want to recap them. Smile, make it a genuine smile. So find out what makes you happy. Frumpy, grumpy, or dumpy. Practice good hygiene, be pleasant to be around, and don't complain and bitch. Have interests that you are passionate about. What interests you makes you interesting, and it's a great place to find common ground and to meetups where you can meet people with common ground of interests. Take care of your issues, get your therapy, take a psychology class, learn boundaries, practice emotional intelligence. Number 5, know who you are and love, accept, honor, and respect who you are. Number 6, know exactly what you are looking for and weed out. Don't waste time on who doesn't meet your criteria. And number 7 is, when you know exactly what you're looking for, figure out where these type of men hang out, and hang out there, not at bars. And number 8, have integrity. Know what your values are, know what you consider right and wrong, and hold yourself up to that standard of living. Well, I hope this was helpful. And my question to you is, did any of these that I gave you, these 8 things that I gave you to attract a good man, surprise you? Or were any of them something that you've already implemented? I would like to know down in the comments. And also, if you've attracted your ideal mate, I'd like to hear how and what you did, how you did it and what you did. All 8 of these practices can be honed through genuine self-love, through committing to yourself, loving yourself, honoring yourself, working through your issues. All of that can be honed through genuine self-love. It is what I teach in my course. It is the way I coach my clients. I am passionate. That is my passion. My interest is helping people how to fall genuinely in love with themselves so that they can go on to create the kind of life they want to live and the happy relationships that they want to experience. So if you are interested in a 1-hour complimentary call where we can kind of go over where your blocks may be and your self-love blocks and what genuine self-love would look like in your life and in your relationships, then please use the link that I'm going to put down in the comments below, and you can schedule that appointment with me now. Thank you for watching my video all the way to the end, and if you haven't, please subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Have a great day.